Hi everyone, welcome to Transcend Yoga Online. My name is Jillian, and today I'm going to talk about a very special, not type of yoga, I don't want to say that, but let's talk about yoga. But let's talk about it in the context of horseback riding. So some of you know I am also an avid horseback rider. Haven't done it in a year because of COVID, but I'm hoping to hop back on a horse as soon as the weather gets nice here in Pennsylvania. So, when I first started horseback riding, way back in the day, I was simultaneously starting to learn yoga. And not just yoga principles, not just the physical principles, but also more of the philosophy as well. But this is what I noticed. My riding instructor and my yoga instructor were saying a lot of things that were similar. A lot of the things that were the same. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, maybe not spiritually, but you get the point. The point is, they are connected. So today I'm going to take you through a few things, maybe a 20-minute practice of what you can do before you hop on your horse. So we're going to start with breathing, and then we'll go through a few more techniques. What you need for this class is a strap. So this is a yoga strap. If you have a yoga strap, cool, grab it. If you don't, you can find a men's tie or a women's tie. You can find a scarf. You can find a belt. Anything that is in this general shape. What will also be helpful is a yoga block. So this is mine. This is a cork block. Yours does not have to be a cork block because these are pretty heavy. This is just what I have for now. If you do not have a block, you can use a basketball, maybe even a soccer ball, or any type of large ball. You can also grab a blanket. The firmer the blanket, the better. So this is a woven blanket. You can fold it in half, and this will make a good block as well. So any of those things will work. So let's begin. Find a comfortable position. So this might be standing, or it might be seated. You might choose to sit on a blanket, or maybe kneel on a block. I'm going to choose the blanket for now. You might choose to have your legs straight. You might choose to have your knees bent. Or you might choose to take a more traditional pose with your body and sit with your legs crossed. Take your hands onto your thighs, close your eyes, and notice where your spine is in space. So what we tend to do is we often slouch. We just come right into our slouchy position. So to counteract that, let's lift up, and I want you to grab your butt cheek, move it out of the way, and then grab your other butt cheek, move it out of the way. I even do this as soon as I get on the horse. I will grab my butt cheeks and I'll move them out of the way. If your eyes opened, close them once again. Once again, take notice to your spine. Maybe it feels a little bit different. If it still feels a little slouchy, lift up through the top of your head. You might feel your low belly muscles start to engage. Now begin to notice your breath. The tricky thing is, as soon as you notice your breath changes, and that's okay. Make your breath about medium. So it doesn't have to be a deep breath right now, but not really a soft breath either. Now let's begin to slow our breath down. So you might choose to open your eyes for just a moment. When we breathe, our torso expands out on the inhale, and then it gets smaller on the exhale. Because our lungs grow larger on the inhale, and then they shrink down on the exhale. So again, close your eyes. Inhale. Feel your torso expand out. Exhale. Release your torso back in. Inhale. And exhale. Keep breathing. Let your breath be smooth and slow and even. When we breathe, it helps to prepare our mind. It helps to move some emotions that may sit. It will also help with that relationship between you and your horse. Because when you approach the horse with calm energy, sometimes, depending on the horse will also be more calm. And if some of you are saying, not my horse, I can relate. Take a few more breaths. And when you're ready, gently blink your eyes open. So if you feel you need more time to breathe, then pause this video and take a few more breaths. So I'm going to go through some basic poses, and I'm only going to quickly show you them. So again, if you want more time with the pose to explore it and feel it in your body, pause the video at any point, continue doing the practice before you move on. So if you have a blanket underneath you or a block underneath you, move it out of the way, and then come onto your back. So you'll need your block and your strap near you. Bend your feet, or bend your knees so that your feet are on the mat. Take your right knee, bend it into your chest. Take your left leg straight down onto the mat. Notice how my toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. And hold here. So think about maybe what your instructor says to you about heels down. Feel that energy in both of your legs. Take the strap, wrap it around the bottom of your foot, and take your leg straight up into the air. Take a moment here, feel the stretch in the back of your leg. Keep breathing deeply. If you don't like the word deeply, sometimes people are like, take deep breaths. Please. Try slow breathing. Sometimes that just sounds better. It's a similar idea. Slow your breath. So now I'm going to take the strap and I'm going to move it side to side. So I'm just pulling on one end of the strap and then the other. My foot is moving from side to side now. This is just getting movement into the bottom of our foot. Believe it or not, our bottom of the foot gets pretty tight. So I'm just almost giving it a massage. My foot's not doing anything. Well, it's moving, but I'm not moving it. I'm moving the strap. Very nice. And find stillness. Point your toes. Feel just a little bit of pressure with the strap. And then gently flex your toes. Pull the strap down toward your body. And again, with a little bit of pressure, point. And then flex. So you might actually have the strap right about where the stirrup would go across the bottom of your foot if you were riding. One more time, point and flex. If you do this right, you'll really feel it in the back of your leg. All right, bend your knee back into the chest. Remove the strap. Hold here. Bring the knee even closer to the body. And now switch out your legs. Bend your left knee into your chest. Right leg comes down. And again, point your toes up towards the ceiling. Feel the engagement in your legs. So again, think heels down. What would that feel like if you're doing heels down, lying down? And now take the strap, wrap it around the bottom of your foot, and take your legs straight up into the air. Hold here. Once again, you'll feel a nice pulling back here. If it's difficult to straighten your leg, if you're just like, wow, I can't really straighten my leg, it's okay to have a bent knee, but you should still feel a pulling back here, a good stretch. So that might mean a bent knee, that might mean a straight leg. And now let's pull the strap, each end of the strap, one at a time, side to side. And now point your toes, feel a little bit of pressure from the strap, and flex. Pulling the strap down. And again, point and flex. Point and flex. Bend your knee back into the chest, remove the strap. Hold here for a moment. Bring your feet back onto the mat so your knees are bent. Take your hands down by your side and get your shoulder blades underneath you. So one shoulder blade and then the other. If you do this right, you'll feel your low back lift up off of the mat. So what do we do about that? Because we don't want to keep that. I'm going to lift and scoop my tailbone down towards the front of my mat, or maybe even down towards my heels. From here, bring your feet in pretty close. They're not going to touch. I don't want them to touch, but bring them closer together. Let your knees fall apart. Now squeeze your low belly muscles right here, almost by your pubic muscles, or your pubic bone. That's going to start to lift your tailbone up. Now squeeze your inner thighs, lift into a mini bridge pose. And come back down, let your knees fall apart. Try it again. Lift your tailbone, squeeze your inner thighs, lift into a mini bridge, come back down, let your knees fall apart. One more like that. Lift and bring your knees towards each other. And lower back down. Grab your block if you have it. And if you don't have a block, it's okay. You can do this without the block. I'm going to take the block, bring it between my thighs, and I'm going to find something that fits my thighs the best. So it might be this way, or I'm going to take it this way, like so. Between my inner thighs, not between your knees, between your inner thighs. Let your feet be about hip width apart this time. Readjust your shoulder blades. Peel your tailbone up off of the mat. So tailbone lifts first. Squeeze the block. Don't go far. I don't want you lifting into bridge pose just yet. I want you to feel these low belly muscles fire up. And come back, relax. Try it again. Squeeze the block. Let your tailbone lift. Squeeze your low belly muscles. And then relax. 2 more times. Squeeze your inner thighs. Lift your tailbone just a tiny bit. Notice it's barely even coming up off of the mat. Just tilting my pelvis, firing up these muscles. And back. 1 more time. Squeeze the block. Pull your belly muscles, lift. Lift your tailbone. And come back down. Now this time come all the way up. Do that movement though. Squeeze, squeeze, lift. Come into your version of bridge pose. So it might be just a partial bridge pose. It might be a little higher. You decide. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Slowly let your spine roll back down to the mat. Remove the block. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Let your knees fall off to the sides. So everybody's inner thighs are different, how they're shaped. Some people will get their knees way down. If you notice, mine don't go down very far at all. So it's no worries where yours goes. Just be okay with what you got here. Take your hands behind your head. From here, low belly muscles fire up again. Lift your head, lift your heart. If you feel like your head can easily be supported without your hands, take your arms in front of you. Hold here. Still breathing. Lower back down. Let's try one more like that. Hands behind your head. Squeeze your belly muscles first, then lift your head and your shoulders. Maybe take your hands in front of you. If this is too much, keep your hands behind your head. Maybe look up towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready, lower back down. Keep your knees where they are just for a moment. Another inhale. Exhale. Nice. Bring your knees together. Take your hands underneath your knees. Bring your knees nice and close to your chest. Now here's where you have a choice. If you're able to, rock forward and back a few times. Feels nice on your back. And then come up to a seated position. If that is difficult for you, come onto your side and then come up. So now everybody come up to a stand. Mountain pose. Look at your feet, make sure they're hip width apart. Feel just a little bit of strength in your legs. Little bit of strength in your belly. Shoulder blades strong on your back. Take a few breaths. Maybe close your eyes. Again, as you breathe, think inhale, expand out. Exhale, coming back together. If your eyes are closed, gently open them up. I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see what I'm doing from the side. You can stay whatever direction works for you. So take an inhale, reach your arms up, and then exhale, bend your knees, take your hands onto your knees. So shoulder blades come down the spine, low belly gets strong, stick your butt up, let your heart lift. Now from here, round your shoulder blades, take your tailbone underneath you, lift your spine up. And again, shoulder blades together, tailbone presses back. Make your low belly muscles strong here. That's going to support your back. And now round your spine. Pull your belly muscles in towards your spine. One more time. Keep your belly muscles strong. Lift your heart. Exhale, round. Pull your belly muscles in towards your spine. So at no point am I necessarily releasing my belly muscles. They might be doing slightly different things, but they stay pretty engaged the whole time. Hands on the hips. Come back up. Keep your feet about hip width apart. Take your hands onto your hips. I'm going to turn to the side once more. So let's talk about our posture as we stand, because this is going to relate to the next pose that we do. So with my hands on my hips, I'm going to take the front of my hips. So here's the front of my hip bones. I'm going to push them forward and my butt's going to go back. So now I have a deep arch in my low back. It doesn't feel fantastic because these muscles are crunching. And now I'm going to go way forward. I'm going to really scoop my butt underneath me. I'm going to try it again. Butt back. And then scoop my tailbone way underneath me. And now I'm going to go right in the middle. Right in the middle. I feel just a slight engagement in my belly. My tailbone is down just slightly, not a whole lot. Mountain pose again. Same thing with the back. Keep that. Hands on your hips again. Sink down into chair pose. So from the side, sink down like this. Now imagine that this is your 2-point. It's difficult to imagine 2-point because we're not on a horse. This pose is kind of similar. There's a little bit of differences I've noticed, but the idea is the same. Inner thighs are strong. Belly muscles have to be strong here. That's going to help protect the low back. Shoulder blades are strong on the back, so I'm going to take my arms in front of me and then shoop, bring my shoulder blades onto my back. I feel my belly muscles fire up a little bit more. Now bend your elbows and just bring them gently towards your side. Yeah, take a few breaths here. Now move your wrists. Keep your wrists soft so everything else is strong. I'm going to lower down a little bit more. Just move your wrists. Nice, come up to a stand. Let that go. Shake that out. Grab your block. If you don't have a block, you can do this without. Take the block, bring it between your inner thighs again. Not your knees, but your thighs. Same thing, squeeze the block. Imagine it's a really small horse. Squeeze. Belly strong, shoulder blade strong. Sink down. Bring your arms in front of you. Yeah, sink down a little more. Squeeze the block. Feel your inner thigh muscles working here. Now from here, lift your toes and your butt's going to sink back a little more. So from the side, when I lift my toes, my butt sinks back. What that does is it takes a lot of pressure out of the knees and it puts it more in the hips. That's where I want it to be. Now from here, move your wrists. Keep your wrists soft. Everything else is strong, but my wrists are soft. Take your arms out to the sides. Good. Keep your arms soft. Keep your wrists soft. Sink down a little more. Whew, my legs are feeling this. Good. Like I said, it's been a while since I rode. Arms out. Keep them soft. Reach them up and back down. Come up to a stand. Remove the block. Shake that out. Come back into mountain pose. If your breath has changed a little bit since that pose, come back to full deep inhale, full deep exhale. Take a few breaths. Very nice. I have time to show you just one more. Grab your strap. Take your strap into your right hand. Lift it up. Bring the strap behind you. Grab your elbow. Push it down. There shouldn't be any pain while you do this. Reach around, grab the strap. There might be tightness. There might be a stretchy feeling. But if you're feeling any sharp pains due to rotator cuff issues, then I encourage you to either back off or just skip this pose. Let your heart look forward. Let your eyes look forward. Head forward. Feel the muscles in your low belly strong again. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, carefully release. Here we go, other side. Reach it up. Bend your elbow so the strap comes behind you. Grab your elbow, press it down. Reach around, grab the strap. Keep your head looking forward. Keep your heart looking forward. Take an inhale. And exhale. Very nice. Carefully release. Shake that out. Well, thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions or want to know more about how yoga can help you on your journey to horsemanship, please let me know. You can email me, you can send me a message on Facebook, and I will gladly get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.